fan's heart is full of hate. He butthurts, cries, and a dark shadow falls over this troll. From the ashes of a once great fandom has risen a meme, an LOL that must be liked. We look to the airways for a vindicator, someone to strike fear in the dark basement of the parents who created him. The battle between fan and smart has begun. With a head on his shoulders stands the smart fan, a speaker of truths, with a voice of silence, and a radio show of justice. This is Ring Rust.
Welcome to a special Ring Rust Top 50 Year-End Countdown edition of Ring Rust REDUX. I'm, of course, not going to be doing what I traditionally would do, just take the music out of the regular episode of Ring Rust and just present that on YouTube as Ring Rust REDUX. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to read some stuff from Kayfabe News. Unreal news for an unreal sport. Generally speaking, not really do anything overly strenuous, just enjoy myself for the next 15 to 20 minutes. So first up, as we roll into the new year, members of the WWE Universe and the entire universe in general are desperately hoping the calendar makes a babyface turn after 2016 amounted to 365 days of white-hot heel heat. This past year has become one of the most hated heels in decades, squashing countless beloved celebrities, inflaming the ire of patriotic Americans, insulting the intelligence of millions, and giving legitimacy to an orange-skinned cartoon tycoon. In true heel fashion, 2016 has mocked and belittled, cheated and stolen, and overstayed its welcome, practically begging for an ass-whooping. A social media campaign called #FutureEndeavors2016 has rallied around the slogan, "If 2016 wins, we riot." But 2017 is already hinting at a heel turn, since a WWE Hall of Famer is going to be President of the United States, and, tragically, it will not be Bobby Heenan. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Professional wrestling personality and guerrilla advocate Paul Heyman has spent all day tinkering with his new iPhone, a long overdue replacement for his shoebox-sized 1987 cell phone. Heyman, an admitted technological Luddite, has staunchly refused to get rid of the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, but is finally convinced to upgrade after his pet Brock Lesnar gave him the new iPhone for Christmas. Heyman didn't have the heart to tell his client that he's Jewish. Paul is reportedly worried that the sleek, lightweight iPhone will be less useful than the Motorola for hitting people over the head with, but he is, quote, excited to try that WWE app thing Michael Cole won't shut up about, unquote. After many hours of exploring the features of the iPhone, Heyman successfully texted everyone in his address book a photograph that many mistook for a dick pic, but was really just Lesnar's chest tattoo. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni, back with Ring Rust Redux, special edition for the Ring Rust Top 50 Year-End Countdown. Not really doing any hard news, just sort of doing some soft news. From Kayfabe News, unreal news from an unreal sport. American President-elect Donald Trump sparked controversy once again today by declaring that the United States will double down on its nuclear armament with the addition of atom bomb to its arsenal. Let it be an arms race, Trump said, introducing the goggled spandex-clad weapon. Trump added that the United States, quote, cannot be intimidated by the likes of Lana, Rusev, and Kolovs, unquote. While the rest of the world is making strides towards its armament, Donald has declared he will release atom bomb under the guidance of Sergeant Slaughter to obliterate, quote, any aggressors against America from parts known or unknown, unquote. The WWE Hall of Famer's saber rattling did not stop there, as he vowed further expansions of America's military might. Manufacturing will return to Detroit in order to mass-produce Motor City machine guns. Japan will be ordered to defend itself from North Korean threat using its jumping bomb Angels. Navy SEALs will intensify their manhunt for Mohammed Hassan. And Zeb Coulter will be appointed Secretary General of the United Nations. Responding to the threat of atom bomb, Iranian troops are reportedly preparing for war by making the toes of their boots extra curly. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni, returning with this special edition of Ring Rust Redux. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. The ever-expanding commentary team of WWE SmackDown Live grew again this morning with the announcement that 9 more announcers had been added to the team. Starting next Tuesday, a total of 13 commentators will be crammed around the announce table to ensure that the in-ring action is called with a broad range of opinions, observations, squabbling, and talking over one another. In addition to John Bradshaw Layfield, Mauro Ranallo, David Otunga, and Tom Phillips, the commentary team will be bolstered by the addition of my future ex-wife Renee Young for a bubbly female presence, Taz for suplex analysis and Brooklyn Drawl, Todd Pettengill for nostalgia, Booker T because who else is going to say nonsensical jibber jabber, Mike Tenay to passionately holler what is insert name here doing in the SmackDown zone, Byron Saxton as the whipping boy, Funaki to agree with people using Indeed, Tony Schiavone to dismiss must-see matches with sardonic quips about butts in seats, and Mike Adamle just to punish us all. When he heard the news that SmackDown will have 13 commentators, former ECW commentator Joey Styles, an adept solo announcer, merely shook his head and muttered, "Oh my God." You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni returning with this special edition of Ring Rust Redux to help celebrate, commemorate, whatever date you want to use, the Ring Rust Top 50 Year-End Countdown starting this week. With some kayfabe news. World Wrestling Entertainment is hosting its 287th pay-per-view of 2016 tonight, and here are 5 predictions you may take to the bank about whichever second-tier filler show this one is. Number 5, history will be made. Regardless of what happens at the pay-per-view, what is it, Backlash, Payback, Backpack? Commentator Michael Cole will emphatically holler that it is history in the making, which is technically true because of the nature of how time works, but still seems to be hyperbolic, right? 4, alliances will be tested. You can expect to see some tension between tag team partners. Are Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens still teasing a split at tonight's event, Battleground, Cyber Sunday, Cock Block? Who knows? Maybe those Puerto Rico guys, the Twinkly Stars or whatever the bullfighters are called now, might have a falling out. Number 3, some poor roadies will have to frantically switch to purple ring ropes for the cruiserweights. Longtime WWE crew members Steve Godzowski and Larry Richardson will mutter swear words under their breath while hurriedly swapping out the regular ring ropes for purple ones, because that's somehow important for distinguishing cruiserweight matches from normal grown-up matches. Tonight's event, Fasalash, Back Pay, we'll probably see TJ Perkins, Brian Kendrick, and Rick Swann square off, since they're pretty much the entire cruiserweight division. Number 2, the New Day will talk too much. And for some reason, thousands of fans attending the event, Slapdash, will laugh and laugh their fool heads off. And number 1, the event will end miraculously on time. Somehow, despite innumerable variables that should make its length impossible to predict, insert pay-per-view name here will end exactly on schedule, just like all previous pay-per-views have, since the brand split. If you're unable to watch Backsplash or whatever tonight, don't worry. WWE will host its next pay-per-view, Bad Blood, in about 3 days. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni back with another bit of kayfabe news, because why not? In his latest controversial edict in the lead-up to his presidency of the United States, WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump has demanded that the Oval Office be completely renovated into a so-called squared circle. "Ovals are for losers," said Trump. "I'm a huge WWE legend, so my office should be a squared circle. Bigly squared." Unquote. The president-elect has promised to implement a slew of changes to the White House based on his sports entertainment background, from a giant screen called the Trumpotron above the front door to an elaborate pyrotechnic show that will herald his arrival and exit. Asked to describe the dimensions of a squared circle, Donald referred to his newly appointed science advisor, Bushwhacker Luke, who just licked the heads of nearby reporters. The WWE Hall of Famer said he intends to model his presidency after the WWE leadership of Vince McMahon, in particular by forcing rival statesmen to join his Kiss My Ass Club. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni back one more time, maybe two more times, I don't know, for some more kayfabe news. Professional wrestler John Cena, whose epic feud with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was predicted on Verbal Attack's, returned to the ring this past week after an extended hiatus from in-ring action. "I live and breathe this business, day in and day out," John Cena hollered into a microphone last October, just before leaving the company for 3 months. Cena's legendary once-in-a-lifetime bouts were predicated on the allegation that The Rock only returns to WWE to promote his movies, whereas Cena, who just filmed Season 2 of American Grit, is a WWE lifer. Cena is expected to give an impassioned speech to the WWE Universe and has spotted backstage writing crib notes on his wrist because he is a bit rusty. A certain contingent of the audience, adult males of dubious hygiene, will of course still insist that Cena sucks, even though he embodies everything that made those same fans Hulkamaniacs several decades before. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni, and subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. And this is Fanboy Mark Jabroni back one more time with another bit of kayfabe news to help celebrate, commemorate, deliberate, regenerate, already ate, the Ring Rust Top 50 Year-End Countdown. President-elect Donald J. Trump appears to be deepening his connections to World Wrestling Entertainment as his inauguration nears, this time vowing to build the long-awaited WWE Hall of Fame just blocks from the White House. "It's long overdue," tweeted Trump, himself an inductee into the prestigious but imaginary institution. "Believe me, it's going to be beautiful. So beautiful," he added. "The beauty will be unprecedented." Or maybe unprecedented. Cause and Trump hinted that the Hall of Fame will be constructed of solid gold, have an entire wing dedicated to himself, and will be built entirely by the Mexicools. Donald appears to be cozying up to the WWE brass in the lead up to the presidency, starting with the appointment of WWE matriarch Linda McMahon as small business administrator and Duke Drosy as Secretary of Sanitation. Insiders believe that Trump wants to associate himself with the bombastic charade of professional wrestling, since it's the only thing that might make his presidency seem sensible by comparison. That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.